I grew up in a town that never rested, in a family that never slowed, and yet, in the midst of the rush, I found her, the lass who set my heart aflame from the first moment I knew what love was. She was mine, aye, but the world would have had her too, had I let it. Suitors circled like wolves, each with their promises, their riches, their fine homes. They were older, wiser, more established. I was none of these things, but I could not stand by and let her go. Some called me selfish, some called me foolish, but ridicule and shame were a small price for the blessing of calling her my bride. Then came the work. A man ought to prove his worth, especially when he's taken more than he's earned. I had thrust us into a life, and so I would carve it out with my own hands. The way forward was clear. I took over the trade portion of the family sheep business. It was a deal well struck. My father could finally stay home with his bride, leaving behind the bustle of the city markets, the haggling, the long days away. And for me, it was an escape, a place where I could build a life with my wife, far from the whispers of the townfolk and the men who had once circled her like wolves. My wife and I had grown up in the rural hills, but I had spent my boyhood venturing into the city at my father's side, learning the trade of wool and sheep markets. The lass, she was new to it all, but she blossomed. And when the coin came, she delighted in the comforts I could afford her. We thought children would come swiftly. We prayed for them. But as the years passed in quiet longing, I saw how the ache settled in her heart. God's will, I told her. We must trust Him. And in those early years, I filled her with hope. Sitting on the porch in the twilight, I'd say, 5 years from now, love, we'll have children underfoot. You'll long for these quiet nights. But 5 years came and went. 10 years. Still nothing. And though I saw the weight in her eyes, I never let her see my own. Instead, I held her close, whispered promises, fed her faith. I teased her with scripture, just as Jacob told Rachel, just as Elkanah told Hannah. Am I not enough for ye, lass? Am I not worth 10 sons? She'd squint at me, playful and stubborn, and I'd knock something off the shelf, pretending to be a clumsy fool. And for a time, we could still smile. Back home, they spoke of punishment, of consequences for a lad who had not followed tradition. I had rushed love, they said. I had wed too young, too quick, and this was my suffering. No children for the lad who took what was not his to take. So we didn't go home much anymore. The city became our world, and our world shrank into one another. And yet, even as the years waxed on, even as the life I built provided for us, nothing could mend the longing in her heart. It was not something hard work could fix, nor laughter, nor comfort. It was simply there, like a missing piece of something that had never truly been whole. Then, when hope had all but faded, when acceptance had worked through us like leaven in a loaf of bread, at 40 years old of all things, God gave us our son, one child, one beloved boy, and for 19 years our world was full again, until it wasn't, until the house stood silent once more. But I've been here before. I know what to do. I look up to the Lord and tell Him, He is enough.